Hi everyone. Today let's discuss about conditional statements using Python language. Have you ever wondered how programs decide what to do next? Whether it's a game reacting to your moves or an app responding to your touch. It all comes down to control flow. Today we are diving into conditional statements using Python, a fundamental concept that allows programs to make decisions. So conditional statements let your program choose different actions based on certain conditions. Think of it like making choices in real life. If it's sunny, I'll go for a walk. Else, I'll read a book at home. In Python, we use if, elif, and else to create these decision making pathways. The if statement is the cornerstone of decision making in Python. It executes a block of code only if a specified condition is true. Let's say we are creating a simple program that greets users differently based on the time of the day. This example. Let me run it. So the result is good morning. In this example, if current hour is less than 12, the program will print good morning. So if is that condition. And next is the else statement. What if the condition in the if statement is not true? That's where the else statement comes in. It defines an alternative block of code to execute when the if condition is false. So if we keep anything greater than 12 or equal to 12, this will fail. At that time, what should happen? At the time, else will be working. So let's again execute. Let's keep 15 here and let's execute this. It says good afternoon. Since current hour is 15, which is not less than 12, the program will print good afternoon. Next comes the elif statements. Sometimes you have multiple conditions to check. The elif, this is a short form of else if, okay, in Python. So this elif lets you check additional conditions if the previous ones weren't true. Let's enhance our greeting program to cover even evening hours. Okay. Now the program checks multiple conditions. If it is before 12 p.m., it says good morning. If it is between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m., it says good afternoon. If about 2 are false, it says good evening. Let me run this. We see it is not less than 12 or between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. So it came to this last else. It is checking all the conditions in the order and it is printing this. Next comes nested conditional statements. Conditional statements can be nested within each other to handle more complex decision making. Imagine we are creating a simple security system that grants access based on a username and password. In this example, the program first checks if the username is admin. These are original credentials. So it first checks if username is admin. If this condition is true, it then checks if the password matches. It's a condition after a condition. Only if first condition is true, then it is checking the second condition is true or false. So based on these conditions, it decides whether to grant access or deny access. If it failed at first if only, we have else here, which says access denied unknown user. It do not know user itself. Okay, let's run it. See, access granted, welcome admin. You can play with this code at your end by using any Python programming interfaces like to practice like Jupyter Notebook. These are for simple codes, so I'm using Jupyter Notebook. Let's explore some practical scenarios where conditional statements are useful. Suppose we are writing a program to determine a student's grade based on their score. In this program, we'll collect the score from the user. This is the statement, input statement, right? And we are converting to int and we are adding to score variable. Okay. We use multiple elif statements to determine the grade. So if grade is score is greater than this much, it's A. If it is greater than or equal to 80, it's B, and so on. Let's run this program. See, it is asking for score. Let me give something like 75. Enter. The student's grade is C because it is qualified. I mean, this part of the code is successful. That's the reason. So let's see two more examples. Let's create a simple password check strength checker program. Okay. In this example, we check if the password is less than 6 characters. We ensure it doesn't contain any spaces, and we evaluate strength based on the presence of special characters. Okay. Accordingly, the result will come. For example, you have seen already I tried with Dhoni Dhoni. It qualified the length criteria and it came medium. Consider adding special characters. Because anyway it did not have space, right? So it came to the next condition. And where we do not have any special characters here. So that's how it works. If all the criteria are satisfied, password strength will print as strong. For the next example, suppose this is for library late fees calculator, this one, okay? Suppose we are building a program for a library to calculate late fees based on how many days a book is overdue. Late fees are calculated differently based on how many days the book is overdue, right? So for first 5 days, see this again if and elif conditions. For the first 5 days, see if overdue is less than or equal to 5 days. First 5 days, we are charging number of days it is overdue times 0.5, that much fees. Okay. If it is next 5 days, so for the first 5 days it is 0.5. This is mathematics, not programming, and we are charging more for the next 5 days. So if it is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I mean those many days overdue due. So those many days into adding extra $1 per day instead of 0.5, and so on. The last condition, if it is more than beyond that also, then it is $2 per day, also including for first 5 days and next 5 days. Okay. So in this way, we'll get the total fees by using nested conditions to calculate the fee. This is an example. Let's say he had an overdue of 100 days. See, $187. For example, he had an overdue of six. Sorry. Okay, let's consider five. So it is very less. So these are the things. To recap, conditional statements are powerful tools that allow your programs to make decisions. If statements executes codes if a condition is true, else statement executes code if the corresponding if condition is false. Elif statement checks another condition if previous if or elif conditions were false. Nested conditionals If statements inside other if, elif, or else blocks for complex decision making. By mastering these, we can create programs that respond dynamically to different inputs and situations. So go ahead, try writing your own conditional statements and make your code smarter and more interactive. Let's visit back with more sessions on Python coding and especially artificial intelligence.